Absolutely beautiful land here. Anyone who says there's no God is lying. I mean, it is absolutely God's country out here. Big Bear, California. I'll tell you, we really, really are blessed. Did not really have time to follow the markets this morning. Went over some articles that I did find interesting. This was on Zero Hedge this morning. America's spending jumps in July as income growth slows. So again, my biggest concern with America is not China. It is the debt. It is American debt. It is consumption. As we know, 70% of America's GDP is consumption. The consumer consuming, and they are consuming with borrowed money. It's called credit cards. And we look a little farther in this article. Personal spending jumped 0.6% month over month in July. Personal income only rose 0.1% month over month. So again, another telltale sign that people are spending more than they have. Many people just spending money to stay in that middle class, going into debt just to stay in that middle class. Another article that was on Zero Hedge this morning, and make sure you're verifying all this for yourself, but these are just indications telling us that things are not that great. There is a diamond crisis taking place. De Beers diamonds, as most of you know, you've heard of them. Sales have crashed 44% as diamond demands plummet. $280 million in sales this month. Last year at this same time, they did $503 million in sales. Signet, the world's largest retailer of diamonds, its shares this year are down 60%. Again, another indication of what is really happening in this economy. We're not talking about what's happening in the stock market. We know how manipulated that is. We're talking about what is happening in the real economy here in the United States of America, and it is slowing down at a record pace. And as I tell everybody on a daily basis, please be preparing for this. I believe we will wake up one day, and at some point, this government is going to have to admit to the people that we have big problems ahead financially. So make sure that you're preparing. Another great day to be buying hard assets as the metals have slowed down a little bit. Gold's pulled back a couple bucks. It's a great day, a great weekend to make an order so that you're holding real wealth, real money, and ensuring your financial future. So right now, be preparing. Another interesting news update today. They just seized over in the Eastern District of Virginia. They seized over 30 kilograms of fentanyl in a drug takeover. This is enough fentanyl to kill 14 million people, primarily 14 million Americans. Now, I thought with the China negotiations, one of the huge topics in the negotiations was one of the really big demands here was that China stop shipping fentanyl to the U.S. Apparently, that has not stopped. And so yet we're still trying to negotiate a deal with China. How trustworthy is China? Remember, this is a communist regime. This is a huge threat to America. Fentanyl and a communist regime, the Chinese government. Do not take China lightly. They have the biggest bank in the world, the biggest military in the world. They have some of the most advanced technology in the world. They're the biggest population in the world. First or second biggest economy in the world, and probably at this point now holding more gold than any nation in the entire world. And the list goes on and on and on. And I believe this country has a serious agenda. And I believe that they're trying to do everything they can to get away from the US dollar, to be less dependent on America. I know that they sell a lot of garbage here to America, but they understand that Asia is growing and their primary customers are going to be Asia. And how much longer are they going to need America? Are they going to try and weather the storm and just tell us what we want to hear now until the next president is elected? So again, very, very worrisome times here in America, and do not take China lightly. Wall Street Journal today, economic wealth. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit through this article. Economic wealth is being measured by a propped up stock market and a propped up real estate market. People think they're wealthy as long as they have paper in an account telling them that they have wealth. Even though they're not holding it, it's on a digital screen or on a piece of paper. They believe they're wealthy because right now their house appraised for X amount of dollars. If anything happens as soon as we hit a real speed bump here in America, those blips on a screen, those pieces of paper are going to be slashed in half or beyond. Real estate, same thing, going to be slashed by half or beyond. And people are going to wake up and find out that they're not as wealthy as they thought that they were, because they're dependent on these propped up markets, such as the real estate market, such as the stock market, which has, again, been injected with printed money, quantitative easing. It's been manipulated with 0% interest rates or near 0% interest rates. And here we go again, 2%, we're going to zero, 25 to 50 basis points this coming September. We will see the cut. And these markets right now know it. So again, and let's say one more thing, what about corporate buybacks? If these corporations like Apple could not buy the amount of their own stock in corporate buybacks, where would these company stocks be right now? Where would the stock market be right now? So corporate buybacks, quantitative easing, low rates. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And then let's not forget the plunge protection team, the government coming in, buying treasuries and who knows, bonds, who knows what else, what is really going on behind the scenes. So we know the markets are completely rigged. The real estate market, again, this thing is just being completely propped up. And now we're seeing a pullback in real estate as we're seeing prices coming down, sales coming down, many people not able to qualify for loans, many people not even able to afford the price of these homes, as they've absolutely gone into a crazy area of pricing now. And so all based on what? I mean, a house that goes up, 20% a year, based on what? These markets are absolutely overvalued, running out of control, and reality is coming. And when reality comes, there are going to be many people out there shocked at the real price of real estate, the real price of their stocks. They're going to be shocked when they look at their portfolios, their money markets, their 401ks. They're going to be shocked at their net worth, because their net worth is going to be destroyed. They're going to be shocked when they find out that their pensions have been robbed, that their pensions aren't going to exist down the road, or they're going to be 25 or 50% of what they were promised. And that's going to be on a good day. That's if you're lucky. Many of these pensions, I believe, are going to be totally wiped out off the face of the earth. This was interesting in the article in the Wall Street Journal also. 32% of Americans have less wealth than they did back in 2003 when you adjust for inflation. So 32% of the population here now is less off than they were 16 years ago. They have less money less wealth, less net worth than they did 16 years ago. The top 1%, though, have more than twice as much wealth as they did back in 2003. Now, let me remind you, when this collapse happens, it will be the biggest, most severe wealth transfer the entire world has ever seen. Now, you can be a victim of that, or you can capitalize, you can protect yourself, and you can prosper. Make sure that you're stacking cash, make sure you have an emergency fund, and most of all, make sure you're putting hard, tangible assets away. I'm gonna leave it on this note today, on this beautiful Friday. Look, do not be paranoid, do not be scared, be prepared. People who are prepared are not gonna freak out, they're not gonna be worried about uncertainty, they're preparing for uncertainty. We live in a beautiful place, we're here for a purpose, for a point, and enjoy life. Do not dwell on negativity. Just prepare for bad times. This is just life. This is just preparation. This is just a battle that many Americans are going to have to face and deal with. It's called reality. That's it. But take your time and make sure you put balance in your life, and thank God for everything you have. Beautiful. Look at this natural setting here, this water. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. Make sure that you get out and put balance in your life. Take a break. Get out and go do something productive. Go get a hike in. I did a lot of hiking the last couple days. I just got in touch with nature here. Thanked God every day for my food, for my freedom, to be able to take an opportunity and come out here and spend some time in God's country, and really thank God for everything I have, and look at what God has created, what He has given to each and every one of us. Look, I'm telling you, you are better off than so many people out there. Even if you have one arm, there's somebody that's missing two arms. If you have no legs, there's somebody with no legs and no arms. If you're eating 2 meals a day, there's somebody eating 1 meal a day. If you're eating 1 meal, there's somebody eating no meals. There is somebody out there that would love to have your life, that would trade with you in a heartbeat. And make sure that you are thanking God every day for what you have. It doesn't matter what kind of watch you wear, what kind of car you drive, what your zip code is. What matters is you are walking close to God, you are preparing, you are getting ready. Take a break, just smell the fresh air, just embrace life, enjoy it, and put balance in your life. Don't just live this life 24 hours a day that something bad's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Be preparing, but put balance in your life and enjoy everything God gave you, and make sure, most of all, you're walking close to God, and that you get on your hands and knees tonight and thank God for everything He's blessed you with, whether that's your health, whether that's a roof over your head, whether that's food, your family, your kids, your friends. Everything you have, you owe to God. God bless America. Make sure you're praying for this country, and have a great weekend. God bless every one of you.